Today my topic of discussion is on the national and global scenario of energy. Now, generally the non-electrical energy sources are classified into two types. One is called the conventional energy source or non-renewable energy source, and other is called the non-conventional energy source or renewable energy source. Now, what is conventional energy source? When we cannot reuse as a source of energy after again and again, then it is called the conventional energy source. The non-renewable energy sources. The example of conventional energy sources are coal, petroleum, nuclear energy, natural gas, etc. These are some advantages of conventional energy sources, like easy to access, the efficiency of the energy source is very high, the energy source is well-known energy source, and the production are not expensive. And the different types of disadvantages of these energy sources are also there, like mining coal collection is very difficult, water is not available throughout the time. Next disadvantage, non-renewable energy sources like fossil fuels can emit the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, etc., thus dangerous for human lives. Next disadvantage, burning of fossil fuels release the oxides which cause the acid rain and other types of problems. Next problem, burning of coal and other natural gases release large amount of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, etc., which is the major cause of global warming. Now, what are the non-conventional energy source? The energy generated by using wind, solar, geothermal heat, biomass, including animal wastage, is known as the non-conventional or renewable energy source. When the energy sources are called renewable, when the source cannot be run out, like sun, wind, etc., are called are called the renewable energy source or non-conventional energy source. When the resources are carbon, the resources of this type of energy sources are carbon neutrals, and that means do not have any pollution due to this type of energy sources. Now, in our country, this is the normal scenario of this type of energy source. First of all, is the coal. Coal is a conventional energy source, and it formed due to the convention of vegetable matters, and it is composed of mine like carbon or hydrocarbon, etc. It found in Jharkhand, UP, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, in West Bengal, in our country. The use of coal. It is used to generate electrical power plant. Use of coal is heating the water to generate steam, which runs the turbine and generate the electricity. So the amount of total energy in our country is coming from the coal is 54.1%, and that is 93,918 megawatt. Next is the natural gas. From natural gas, the 10.2% of total energy is generated in our country. It is one of the fossil fuels and formed by decomposition of remains of dead animals and plants under the earth. It is mainly composed of methane like CH4 with small amount of propane and ethane also. When refined, it is colorless and it can be burned to release the large amount of energy. Next one is the hydropower. Hydropower is coming from the water source, and hydroelectric power plant are generally installed in hilly areas by creating a dam. The total amount of energy in our country coming from the hydropower is 21.60%. So there are different types of advantages of hydroelectric power plant, like the running cost is minimum, This plant is neat and clean. Large amount of workers are not required in this power plant, but the disadvantage is that water is not available throughout the year continuously, and the initial investment cost of this plant is very high. Now the nuclear power plant. The 2.8% of total energy is coming from the nuclear power plant in our country, and that is equals to 47,400 sorry 4,700 megawatt. In nuclear power plant, the nuclear by the help of nuclear fusion, some tremendous amount of heat will be developed. An atomic or nuclear power plant is a setup for providing the concentrated uh, atomic energy to produce the useful electrical energy. The plant is very much similar to the steam power plant, in which the boiler is replaced by the nuclear reactor. In nuclear reactors, the energy is released from the fission of heat atomic of nuclear materials like uranium, thorium, etc. Now, the diesel power plant. By the burning of diesel, huge amount of heat will be developed, by which we can boil the water and the water is converted into steam. When steam passing through a tunnel, the energy inside the steam is the kinetic energy, and when the steam hits the turbine, then turbine rotates, and after rotation the kinetic energy of the steam is converted into mechanical energy inside the turbine, and turbine is coupled with the alternator, and inside the alternator the mechanical energy is converted into the electrical energy. And now the renewable energy sources. The different types of renewable energy sources are there, like solar energy, wind energy, biogas energy coming from the biogas, wave energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy, etc. In case of solar system, on this planet, human life and all other form of life are completely depends upon the daily flow of solar energy. The production of food and all other life supporting systems of the natural environments are totally depends upon the sun. The solar energy is collected from the photovoltaic cell or solar cell. With the combination of solar cell, we can develop some solar array, and with the combination of array, we can design a solar power plant. So next type of renewable energy is the wind energy. Wind energy is coming from the wind. Windmill is placed in those areas where the wind flow is largely available, and windmill is basically the combination of a wind turbine and an alternator which are coupled to each other. When the wind turbine rotates, then by the help of gearing system the speed will be increased, and by the help of the increasing speed the alternator rotates and generate the electrical powers. Next type of renewable energy is called the tidal energy. The rise and fall of the tides over a means for storing water at the rise and discharging the same at falls. So occurs the tremendous amount of energy by the help of the tidal force. Next one is the biomass energy. Green plant green plant and vegetable wastage are the main source of the biogas. By the help of the processing of the biomass product, with the help of digester, methane gas will be developed, and with the help of methane gas electricity will be generated. Next is the geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the coming from the underground heating systems and etc. So these are the renewable energy, and 10.6% of total energy in our country is coming from the renewable energy. So these are the system. Now the estimated potential of non-conventional energy sources in India below. In case of wind power, the estimated potential is 45,195 megawatt. By the help of biomass power, the estimated potential is 16,881 megawatt. By small hydropower, the estimated energy is the 15,000 megawatt, and by the wastage energy, and that is 2.700 megawatt, and by the solar power the estimated energy is 2,533 megawatt. Now the Indian generation capacity in megawatt. The total power generated generation capacity in India in 1947 was 1360 megawatt, and in 1991 it grows to 65,000 megawatt, of which 45,000 megawatt, that means 69%, was generated from the thermal power plant. So by the help of the table we can observe the total generation of India. In case of thermal energy 90, and the total unit is denoted by the megawatt. In case of thermal energy in 1991 the total generation was 45,000 megawatt. In 1997 from thermal energy the total generated power is 28,000 megawatt. In 2002 the total generated power by the thermal energy is 33,000 megawatt, and in case of 2007 that is 58,000 megawatt, and recent time the wattage is very high compared to this data. Similarly, in 1991 the power generated by the hydroelectric power plant is 18,500 megawatt. In 1997, that means 8th plant, the generated hydroelectric power is 18,700 megawatt, so that is not, the difference is very low. But in 9th plant, that means in 2022 the power generated by the hydroelectric system is 26,000, that is more increase than the 8th plant. So in case of 10th planning the power is 23,000. So in case of nuclear system 1991 the total generated power is 1,500. In case of 1997 that is 1,320, and in case of 2002 the total power is 2,880 megawatt. By the other source of energy like the natural gas etc is in 8 is the power generation from by the other sources in 8th planning, that is 1997, and in this on that period the total generated power is 38,000 megawatt. In 2020 in 2002 the power generated by the other sources is 61,000 megawatt, and in 10th plan the power generated by the other source is 81,000 megawatt. Now these are the conventional source of energy. Now the renewable energy source, energy potential and installed capacity in India in 2009. So in 2009 the energy, the estimated potential from the wind power is 45,000 megawatt, and the installed capacity or is 9,756 megawatt. By the wind pump the no estimation is required in 2009, but the Indian government generate 1,284 number of wind pumps throughout our country. In 2009 the small hydropower, that is the power rating up to 25 megawatt, is the estimated potential is 15,000 megawatt, whereas the installed capacity on this period is 22,345 megawatt. Now the solar photovoltaic power plant in 2019 in 2009 the estimated generated power is 50 megawatt per square kilometer, but practically India government the public sectors installed 110 megawatt. In case of biomass gasifiers, the no estimations potentials are required, but our government generate 87 megawatt power by the help of biomass gasifiers, and by the help of biomass plant 12 millions of is our target, but we can achieve 3.9 millions. By waste of energy like municipal solid waste, the estimated energy source is 1700 megawatt, and we can achieve 23.70 megawatt. And by the help of industrial wastage, our estimation is 1000 megawatt, but we can achieve only 35.21 megawatt. And this is the overall scenario of the energy in our country.